Hello everyone. In this next meditation session, we will continue exploring the cycles of reincarnations as in previous sessions. However, in this video, we will begin to see more clearly our role or our sense of agency within or beyond the cycles of rebirth. First, find a quiet place. Sit down with your legs crossed. Keep your back straight and gently close your eyes. Simply observe your breath coming in and going out. As you center your awareness and reflect on what is happening around you, inhale gently, follow the breath as it flows through your nose. Feel your chest and reach down to your belly. Exhale, feel the breath leaving through your nose and notice your belly softening and sinking. From the moment we are born and grow up, we get swept into various roles that seem to follow a predetermined path. The roles appear without us consciously choosing them. Are you male or female? What kind of family, society, or religion were you born into? Your body, whether healthy, strong, or fragile, may have developed in the way that feel like it was set by fate, flowing along the current of creations as yourself. Are you unconsciously attaching yourself to a status, an emotions, a habit, or a society class? Are you unconsciously attaching yourself to a status, an emotions, a habit, or a social class? Are you playing out a role of wealth, of poverty, adopting certain labels or belief system, or living by some inherited definitions of life? Do you have the habit of placing yourself in certain situations and then allowing fear or pleasures to arise automatically out of our conditioning? Sometimes you may intentionally let yourself enjoy something like playing out a sense from a comedy, giving yourself permissions to relax. Other times, you might allow sadness or despair to take over, acting out tragic movie, giving into a weakness and spiraling downward. But is that truly your conscious choice, or are you being pushed by internal impulses or external influences? Most of the time we live within these patterns, giving them permissions to take us wherever they want without even knowing where you're going. These recurring habits, parts of the cycles of birth and death, put us back into the same mental groups even though we can't pinpoint when or how they began. And also the cycles continues. We allow ourselves to feel joy, sorrow, or fear, getting carried away by these emotions. Sometimes we become aware and choose not to endure in sadness, anger, or happiness, letting things come and go as they will, carried by the impermanence of life. But why do things never seem to go as we wish? Why do they arrive and disappear on their own, often without warning, try stepping outside of the role you're playing? Observe it. When you're no longer caught in the act, and pressures begin to ease and the chains of samsara, the cycle, losing or disappear entirely. When observations become a habit without judgment, you begin to understand that none of it is truly you. Everything simply comes and goes, following some unseen rhythm. You might even step into someone else's roles, and in doing so, develop more understanding and compassion for them. So, choose a path with clarity, wherever possible, one that brings peace, because the cycles of rebirth will always continue, shaped by the path you choose. In the cycles of the seasons, winter brings the death of many trees and plants. Only in spring do the bloom and bear fruit again. But spring too must pass, giving way to summer and then to the next phase in the cycle. Just like countless other cycles of arisings and passing away, your breath, your emotions, and your thoughts also move through similar pattern of birth and dissolution. Inhale gently, follow the breath as it flows through your nose. Feel your chest and reach down to your belly. Exhale, feel the breath leaving through your nose, and notice your belly softening and sinking. When the breath enters the lungs, the cells receive enough oxygen to stay healthy. But when the body exhales without receiving enough fresh oxygen in return, it sends out urgent signals of danger. You can observe the cycles of arising and passing, the subtle movement of birth and death, constantly happening within both body and mind. In order to understand more deeply, consciousness and the body are always intertwined. When the body is in motion, the mind follows, and when the mind is active, it mobilizes the entire system. When we are calculating, worrying, or emotionally charged, the whole body-mind mechanism runs at high intensity. This creates a kind of inertia, a pattern that becomes habitual. Eventually, these habits get etched into our natural reflexes and continue in cycles that are difficult to break. When certain sensations arise, we often react with thoughts and actions based on those old patterns. And it is exactly these ingrained patterns that generate the cycle of birth, rebirth, and death again and again. If your habits tell you that you are someone who should always be relaxed and comfortable, then your ego will likely believe that this is how things should be. From there, your ego takes charge, guiding your thoughts, decisions, and behaviors based on the rules and patterns you have previously chosen or unconsciously inherited. If your habits lean toward calculations, greed, desire, pride, confidence, or insecurity, those tendencies will pull you back into similar thoughts and actions, repeating our karmic cycles. In meditation, we will observe every shift in the cycles of body, mind, and habits. Through that awareness, we begin to see clearly and then apply our effort in the right way. When we become aware of the roles we are playing that bring pressures and stress, we can consciously release them. At that point, our clarity increases and it becomes easier to let go of the rigid habit of ego, whether they arise as greed, anger, delusion, pride, or doubt. This phase of seeing and accepting the need to transform can be difficult for anyone, even seasoned practitioners. But we must hold firmly to our faith and support each other in walking the path of awakening. As long as we keep moving forward, even if we stumble, one day we will see meaningful results. When you step outside the roles you have bound yourself to and begin to observe your body and mind from a different perspective, you will really see the cycles of suffering and pleasures, of thoughts arising and fading, and everything will feel lighter and more manageable than before. This is a sign that some of the burden in your body and mind has already been released. If we keep clinging to these roles and patterns in our thoughts, they will keep returning. But if we allow them to pass without clinging, without identifying, they will resolve on their own. And slowly, the paths that once seemed unclear begin to reveal themselves because of your continued effort in practice. The pain in your body, the shame and loss in your heart that once brought so much suffering, now they ease. You have chosen a more peaceful path, even though suffering may still arise from time to time. What one felt like torture while sitting cross-legged for meditation has now become a state of peace. When you return to daily life, you may not always be formal seated meditation, but your attention to inner change brings deeper wakefulness. Balance comes back more quickly than before when challenges arise, and everything becomes worthy objects of meditation. The cycle of birth and death still exists, but it no longer follows the old mechanism. Now it carries with it a deeper understanding and a sense of inner peace. At this point, you should not give up the practice of sitting meditation, because this is the most direct state in which to understand meditation and to understand life itself. When you hold on tightly to something you love, the habit of attachment brings you back into the cycles again and again, and it becomes hard to let go, causing discomfort in the body and mind. Every moment now is an opportunity to observe the presence deeply, to observe a moment of peace and mindfulness without judgment. In the cycles of arising and passing, the roles we play constantly change. Health, wealth, reputations, and relationships all go through the same impermanence phase: birth, existence, decay, and disappearance. It's in the quiet space between two roles, between two identities, that we begin to see everything is merely a fleeting illusion that comes and goes. Only when we truly see the arisings and passing of all things will we no longer fear or worry. In moments of excitement or pain, we are no longer swept away by these karmic cycles, because we have seen them, experienced them, and moved beyond them. We have taken a significant step on the path of liberation, even if the journey is still long. We now understand the dark clouds of fear and anxiety may cover the sky, but the sun is always shining, calm, clear, and unwavering. The cycles of those dark clouds may come and go, but they can no longer stop us from returning to the warm, spacious light. In that luminous stillness, we realize the brightness of the sun has always been there, never truly hidden by the fog of worry, calculations, or fear. On those cycles of attachment and pleasures from the past, on those imposed roles that never even came to pass, no longer trouble us. Even if tempting images or thoughts return to challenge us again and again, we now see through them like rising above a black cloud and realizing the sky was never obscure. At this point, we choose our determination, a sky that is still and bright. In meditation, even the peace we experience is something we can release, merging instead into any place. Even the vast open space beyond, we become one with any current of this world or the vast universe and still remain peaceful. No matter what arises, joy, sorrow, pain, or difficulty, at this stage, we are no longer entangled in fear of birth and death because we see all things as the same. Nothing changes so abruptly anyone. There's no pressures to compare, no judgment or separations. Everything has merged into realization of non-self. Past, present, and future are one. Space and time are unified. Impermanence, non-self, and suffering no longer dominate our experience. There is no longer I, mine, or yours, nor more greed, angers, illusions, bright or dark, no more habits that feel impossible to break. All forms begin to fade, no longer carrying fixed shapes or names, no longer bound by ideas of right or wrong or the cycles of rebirth. Everything becomes a state of vast, silent peace. There is no near or far, no inside or outside, no good or evil roles to play on dualistic concepts and definition of the world gradually dissolve and disappear. And if this can be realized, then as the Buddha taught, we may truly be liberated. We practice not for display, but to cultivate unwavering trust in our own path, in our sincere effort to end the cycles of samsara. Time has passed, so I will end this video here. When you succeed on your journey of mindfulness meditation, the journey in the game of breath becomes more and more fascinating if you truly cherish it. This practice, like any powerful habit, is the key to unlocking every doorway in your body and mind. So keep observing and keep practicing with me in this video and those to come. If you have thoughts or reflections, feel free to leave a comment below. And if this video helped or inspired you, please hit subscribe, like, and share with others. Thank you.